Alright, number 1. First it says to graph the line L given by the equation y equals 2/5 x minus 3. So, what equation does this one look like? The slope-intercept. So we have y equals mx plus b, where our m is our slope and our b is our y-intercept. So b is where we begin, and we begin at -3. So we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and put a point. Then our slope is 2/5. So we're going to rise 2, go up 2, 1, 2, and run 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and plot a point. Alright, then grab a straight edge and connect the points. Alright, so our m was 2/5. So the parallel line to this has the same slope. So the parallel slope is also 2/5. And then it says passing through the point -3, 5. So we have our y minus our y value, so 5, is equal to my slope m, which is 2/5 x, minus a -3, so that makes it a +3. Then I take this number and distribute, so I multiply it by the x and I multiply it by the 3. So I have y minus 5 is equal to 2/5 x, and in your calculator you'll go 2 divided by 5 times my 3. And you would get 1.2. Then we want to get rid of the -5, so I have to add 5 to both sides. So y is equal to 6.2 plus my 2/5 x. Or y is equal to 2/5 x plus 6.2. Perpendicular. It says flip the fraction. So I flip 2/5 from this one. So it's 5/2. Change the sign. So I change it from a positive to a negative. I have my slope. My point is still -3,5. And I'm going to put it into the equation. So I have y minus 5 is equal to my slope of -5/2 times x plus 3. Again, distribute. When you distribute, make sure you bring the negative. So I have y minus 5 is equal to a -5/2 x. A negative and a positive is negative. And then you would go 5 divided by 2 times 3 is 7.5. Then you would add 5 to both sides. So I have y is equal to a -5/2 x and then you put this in your calculator and you get a negative 2.5. Well, let's graph those equations. So we have negative 3, 5 is the point we're talking about. Negative 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. To do the parallel, because I really can't go up, I'm going to go down 2 and run 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to plot a point and connect them with a straight edge. And then my perpendicular one is still through this point, and we are going to go down 5, right 2. So I'm going to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 2, 1, 2, and I connect these points now. Alright, so now tell if these two lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So to be parallel, these two lines have to have the same slope. To be perpendicular, it has to be the opposite sign and flipped, or reciprocal. So this one's already in y equals mx plus b, so we can, our slope is 4/7, the number in front of the x. Here, what do I have to do to find the slope of this line? I have to get into the y equals mx plus b, so I'm going to add 8x to both sides. So I have 14y is equal to 8x minus 14, and then I'm going to divide by my 14. So I get y equals 8/14 can be reduced. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 14 7 times. And then we have 14 over 14 is 1, so minus 1. So the slope of this is 4/7. The slope of that was 4/7. So we have same slope, and they're parallel. Write an equation of a parallel line 4x plus 3y is equal to 24 through the point -5, -6 in slope-intercept form. So first I have to find the slope of this. How can I find the slope of that equation? I have to solve for y, get y by itself. So what do I got to do first? I have to subtract 4x. So I have 3y is equal to -4x plus 24. Then what do I got to do? What is this 3 doing to y? It's multiplying, so I have to divide. So this is gone. I have y is equal to a -4/3 x plus 8. So now the slope of this line is -4/3. So the parallel slope is negative 4/3 because it's the same. The point is -5, -6. So what do we have to use now? We have our slope and we have our point, so we have to use our point slope formula. So we have y, and which one's my y? This is my x and this is my y. So we're going to put that there. So we have y plus 6 is equal to my slope of negative 4/3 times x plus 5. Then I will distribute. So I have y plus 6 is equal to negative 4/3 x and then I take negative 4 divided by 3 times 5 into your calculator. Negative 6.7. Then I subtract 6. So I have y is equal to a negative 4/3 x minus 12.7. Alright, so now number 4. Number 4, it says to give the slope and write the equations for the following. So what's the slope of a vertical line? Undefined. Now, it says to write an equation. So what is this number right here? It's a 1. Is this my x-axis or my y-axis? My x-axis. So that means that this is x equals 1. Write an equation of a parallel line through 4, -1. So let's plot the point 4, -1. And we want a parallel line. So we want a line that goes right down. So what is this point right there? It's 4. So is this x or y equals? That's x equals. So we have x equals 4. Then we want a perpendicular line, still to this first given, that goes through -3, 2. So -3, 1, 2, 3, 2, right there. And we want a perpendicular. So that means we want it to make a right angle. So what number is this? 2. So is this my y or x-axis? It's my y-axis, so it's y equals 2. What is the slope of this line? It's 0. Equation, so what is this point right there? -4. Is this my x-axis or my y-axis? Y-axis. So is this x equals or y equals? It's y equals because it's a y-axis. So y equals -4. An equation parallel to the line through 5, -6. So 5 and then -6 is right there. And parallel to it. So we're going to go the same exact right there. So the point is right here. So we got 6 and it's actually -6. So we got -6, which if you notice it's right here. Is this my x or y value? What axis is that? It's my y. So I have y equals negative 6. Write an equation that is perpendicular through the line negative 2, 3. So we got negative 2, positive 3, 1, 2, 3. Point that and go straight down because it's perpendicular. So what number is this right here? Negative 2. And hopefully you also notice it's right there, negative 2. Is this my x or y? That's my x. That's my x-axis. So it's x equals negative 2. Alright, x and y intercepts. Remember to find your x-intercept. 7x minus 14y is equal to 28. To find your x-intercept, you want to get rid of your y. So you put a 0 in there, and negative 14 times 0 is 0. So now that's gone. So then you have 7x is equal to 28. Divide by 7. And so in your calculator, divide 28 by 7, and you get 4. So my x-intercept is 4, 0. So my x-intercept is 4. My y-intercept, we take 7x minus 14y is equal to 28. And we want to get our y, so we're going to put 0 in for here. 7 times 0 is 0, so I can get rid of it. So now I have negative 14y equals 28. I divide by negative 14. That's gone, so I have y equals a negative 2. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 2. I'm going to take a straight edge and now write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, we have 7x minus 14y is equal to 28. So I want y by itself, so I have to subtract my 7x. So I have negative 14y is equal to negative 7x plus 28. Divide by a negative 14. So I have y is equal to, we have here negative 7 divided by negative 14, reduce it, is 1/2 x. Put in your calculator 28 divided by negative 14, you get a negative 2. So the slope of the line is 1/2, and your y-intercept is negative 2. Well, let's look at the graph. Our y-intercept is negative 2. Our slope up to, this was up to, so rise to, run, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is reduced to 1/2. So that is our slope. So you might say, well, can I write the equation from looking at the graph? As long as it passes through and you can really see it, you could, definitely.